Well, good morning, everybody. Travels with Dottie here, and I'm on my way to take my vehicle for some maintenance, my Ford F-150, to the Ford dealership in Carlsbad, New Mexico. And while I'm doing that, I decided to do a video on full-time RVer myths, things that you may have heard that may or may not be true. And the first one is full-time RVing is always cheap. No, it's not always cheap. It depends on what your sensibilities are, what you're expecting, what you like. If you can spend in RV parks, if you're going to stay in RV parks throughout the country, and you like RV resorts that have jacuzzis and pools and restaurants and things of that nature, you easily can be far north of $1,000 a month, up to $2,000 a month if you're like doing it in peak season down in Florida, in California, near some big national parks. You can really spend some serious money doing that. And some people do that. They can afford it. So that can be very expensive. There is the thought, if you can't afford that, but you still want to stay in RV parks, there's a way to do that. Not the high-end ones, but I would call the medium RV parks, the ones that they're clean, they're nice, they have good amenities, but they don't necessarily have restaurants and fancy pools. Some have pools, don't get me wrong, some do, but you can get away with $500 or $600 a month just staying in RV parks. All right. Also, you can that's a little bit of it, and let's say 700 is probably closer to the truth nowadays, now that I think about how things have changed in the last few years. The RV park prices have gone up. Now you can go to the lower end RV parks, and they're not quite as nice, but you can, if you do your diligence, you can find nice, safe ones that can charge $200 and $250 a month plus electricity. Now you need to be careful with that. In the heat, if you're going to run your AC, you can run an electric bill on your AC up to an additional $200 to $400 in a really bad month. Like if you're going to make a deal like that in Phoenix in August, you're going to have a big electric bill. So while the base rate of $250 or $200 or $300 sounds great, it's not so great when you get that big electric bill. But there are yet more alternatives. Like, you can do it the way I do it. I have a home base where I pay rent, and I go to Eagle Nest, and I have a low-cost place that I stay in Eagle Nest for the summer for 3 months, and then this winter, instead of boondocking, I'm going to be in an RV park in Quartzsite. And I did a calculation of all those things, including utilities, all those things that I'm doing, added all together for a 12-month period, like from now until the same date, 12 months from now, I come out to about $350 a month. And that's staying in, some nice, comfortable places. And in past years, though, I've spent my winter down in Quartzsite boondocking, and that was $180 for the season. So my monthly average was probably about $200 a month, because I did so much boondocking. I was part of a member-owned RV club in Pahrump called Preferred RV Resort, and you can get away with not spending much. Some people, they can come close to zero on these monthly sort of, I call it rent equivalent. There are people that spend all their time in BLM land that's free stay. It's usually all throughout the West BLM land, National Forest land. It's a 14, or mostly just BLM, because National Forest, they tend to have parks and they charge a little bit for that. But on BLM land, there's plenty of what they call 14-day areas, and they either move or take their chances and stretch that 14 days as far as they can get away with, which I do not recommend, but many people do that. But you'd have to move every couple of weeks. But there are people, especially van lifers and people that can easily move their rig, stay on the move, and that number can approach 0. Okay. So, myth number 2, you need a brand new luxury rig to go full time. It would be nice, but used, not luxury, but middle of the road, good quality used RVs, travel trailers, they're everywhere. If you have a little bit of patience and vigilance and you do your homework, you can get a really good deal on your home on wheels. And I highly recommend you do not fall for going to a dealership and buying a new RV. Type in something like my experience buying an RV from a dealer on YouTube and watch about 20, 30 videos, and you will discover very quickly why this is such a bad idea. And you may think, well, the salesman said they'll fix anything that goes wrong for a year or 2 years or whatever the warranty period is, right? The horror stories you hear, the first one that it may be unexpected to you is something goes wrong, and it's something major, like my air conditioner won't work and it's July, and you call up where you bought the RV from, and guess what? They don't connect you to the salesperson that made the promises to you. They connect you to the service department. They look you up, they ask you what's wrong, and they say, we'll be happy to take care of that. I have an opening on November 12th. And you'll go, what the hell are you talking about? I need it fixed now. I'm living in my RV full time. I need my AC to work. What can I tell you, buddy? That's our first available time. We're pretty busy over here. And then you go and look in your agreement and try to find something that says they will resolve your problem in X amount of time. And it's not there. It's not there. Sorry. So my recommendation is that you buy a used RV from another person. I wouldn't even bother with a dealer. I would go someone selling their RV on. There's RV Trader. There's a website and an app you can have on your phone, and do your research. And this is going to hurt. It's going to hurt, but it's worth it. This is going to be your home. Pay anywhere between $900 and $1,500 for a certified RV inspector. And before you buy, have them do the inspection, right? It could be you could use the results of the inspection as a price negotiating tool, or more likely, it'll give you a heads up on the extra dollars you're going to need to spend to bring it up to snuff. So if he comes back and says, hey, you're going to have to buy a new refrigerator really soon, you figure out how much that's going to cost, or a new AC, or a new hot water heater, things of that nature, or you need new tires. That's something that people overlook when they buy used RVs. But, no one selling you a used RV is going to give you a warranty, right? So you just want to trade the idea of a warranty for going into it knowing what you've got and what your future expenses might be. So that's a really good way to go. Now, if you go to Quartzsite, where I go in the winter, where it's the mecca for full-time RVers, you will see everything from people living in their car and a tent and having a great time all winter long in their $1,000 car and $200 tent, maybe $100 tent, all the way up to you can go out there and you can see $1 million rigs parked out there in the desert, not too far from that person in the car and the tent. It takes in everything in between. Everything in between. It's pretty remarkable. And the one thing all these people have in common, from my experience, is they both love living the life. Not everyone, but most of the people I've known and interacted with love the life, and there's no correlation between luxury rigs versus inexpensive rigs and level of happiness and contentment. There just isn't there. So you got lots of options. So the other things, you're going to be disconnected, no reliable internet or cell signal. Okay, here's the reality. Most places have a decent cell signal. Most places I go. Are there places that have no cell signal? Absolutely. Absolutely. And if you're on the road and you have a job where you have to be connected, you're going to have to bite the bullet, and like I did, and get Starlink, and I pay, I think, $165 a month. And I know that's painful. That's, tack that on to my, $300 a month. And but no matter where you are, cell signal or not, if you got a view of the sky, you're going to have a high-speed internet connection. Or you can just stick to going to places that have a decent cell signal. And there are lots of ways to find that out. There are apps that show cell signal, and it'll show a map, it'll show the carrier color-coded, and also there are apps that you can look at reviews from certain campsites and certain camping areas, and people will tell you, I had AT&T and I had 25 down and 6 up or whatever, and you'll get good information on that. But if you're absolutely dependent on internet and you can't live without it because you make a living on the internet, you're going to have to. Now, the good news is Amazon is on its way towards launching a competitive service with SpaceX. When that happens, I really predict prices will come down pretty quickly. And you get a third player in there, over the next 10 years, things are really going to change and prices are going to come down. The other myth, that RV life is lonely and isolating. No, it doesn't have to be. If you want to be isolated, it's a thing that you can do. But the more you go to places like Quartzsite, where people gather, RV parks, things like that, people are very nice and social. And my closest friends now are pretty much 90% of them are full-time RVers. Here's a myth, and I did get this list off the internet, forgive me, but you don't need to plan, you can just pick up a spot and go. Well, that you can do that, but you have to have a personality and a sensibility that is flexible and can tolerate not being able to find a place to camp. My good friend Deborah Dickinson says, have a backup to your backup plan. Have 3 backup plans. And because if you go to one place that's full, or that's closed, or you just can't find it, and that's my signal that I'm 5 minutes from my appointment at Ford, and I'm looking at Ford right here, and I'll continue this on the way home, but I'll show you pulling into the Ford dealership here. It's 8:55 a.m. on a beautiful Monday, the 5th of May. Service. Now, the way I went in before, I went in a bad way. It was not smart the way I went in. Okay, it says service this way. I don't know. Is it really this way? No, I don't think it is. This is very confusing. If you've seen a prior video when I went here to talk to these guys, I was definitely very confused about how to get in and out of this place. And that sign that had the service thing, it's clearly pretty wrong. I think it's on the total other side of this building. And it's going to be a little obstacle course to weave in and out of here to get to the service department. Terrible signage. And here's the service department, way over here. So, the question is, they're going to work in your car. Where do you park? How about right here? Well, I don't know. Well, they'll be taking it pretty quickly. So, oh, drop off. There we go. Well, here I am at the Ford dealer, and one thing I wanted to point out here, a couple of people had messaged me or made comments about staying in the desert and quartzite, and you really need to change your filters. This one, and I'm not sure, one is in the cabin and one is in the engine. I bet you this is the engine one and this is the cabin one. They're pretty dirty, but that's what the filter looks like. Oh, there you go. Look at all that. Yeah. Pretty nasty. So that was good. The only other thing, I got out of here for $561. And that was, the filters were, the filters aren't cheap. They're $20, $30 a piece. And I got new windshield wipers. They charged me $51. And if that sounds like a lot, you haven't really been paying attention, because the last time I changed them a couple years ago, I went to an auto parts store and they cost me $70. So we got that. And the only other thing that cost probably almost $150 was the rear differential fluid. There were metal shavings in the fluid and stuff, so that had to be done. So everything all together, brakes look good, tires look good. They checked everything. They replaced all the fluids. $561 out the door. I was figuring right around $500, so I'm happy with that. So we are going, I think what we're going to do is we're going to go, and I forgot to turn on the microphone, but the internal one was probably fine. We are going to go to, they put this so I know where to put my feet. All right, so we are going to go in a self-service wash place. I know I just got my car washed, but I want to try to use this high pressure thing to clean my canvas topper, because going through the machines doesn't seem to work very well. Now I know the procedure and where to go when I get service. It was pretty kind of confusing. Display mode. Okay, that's not what I want. Fuel. All right, sorry for that delay. I'll turn this around. And what I think I want to do is go that way to get out of here. So I'm feeling pretty good about everything's okay with the truck. I'm ready for another year. Yeah, this is where they close this gate. This is the gate they close at night. And I'm not going... Okay. So somebody's blocking the exit. And I'm not sure why. And I don't think he sees me. He's just backing up. I don't know how to get out of here now. So they're wanting me to get out of their way, I guess. And he's gonna hit that other truck. Oh no, he's got room. It looked like he was gonna hit that other truck. Oh, they're pushing it out of the way. That's the problem. There. So this is a very difficult parking lot to get in and out of. It really, maybe it's me, but I've been here twice and I've had pretty significant problems almost every time. And if I recall, up here on the right, there's going to be a like a self-serve car wash. They also have a pet washing station. If Dottie was with me, I'd wash her too. I think this might be it up here. We'll see. Mufflers. Dermatology. No. Maybe up here. No, that doesn't look right. I'm pretty sure it's on the right. I just don't know exactly how far up it is. have you. I don't know if you can see the hood, the dirt on the hood. You know, this just got washed, and then we had a rain yesterday, and the rain, it brings the dust with it. Oh, I think I see it. It's up here on the right. I think. I thought wrong. That's not it. Here's the thing about acclimating myself to the area. Now I know exactly how to get in and out of the Ford place. Now after today, I'll remember more precisely where that manual car wash is. So I see a Walmart, or not a Walmart, a Walgreens. Very different. Walgreens. It's not there. It'd be funny if I couldn't find it. That I'm thinking of some other town somewhere. I don't think so, though. This is way further up than I imagined it was. And it's beginning to look less and less likely. I see it. There, it's there. It's there. See, it says dog wash. But it's got bays for cars too. Well, I think I got the canvas topper cleaned, but the way to tell is when it dries, is it going to look funky? So we'll see. It is, let's close all these, see what time it is. It is 10:39 a.m. and we're gonna head home. Thanks for coming along with me on my little joyride, talking about full-time RV myths, and getting your vehicle serviced and doing a wash. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one. I love it when you come with me on my errands. It doesn't feel lonely. It feels like you're with me. Take care, and I'll see you tomorrow.